In 1885, a man stood on the gallows while the executioner tried 3 times to hang him. Each attempt failed. His name was John Babbacombe Lee. Just months earlier, Lee had been accused of murdering his employer, Emma Keyes, after she was found dead inside her burning home in Devon, England. The case shocked the country. Emma Keyes was a wealthy, unmarried woman who lived at the Glen House with only a small household staff. She was known as a private person and had employed Lee as a footman. Although he had once been imprisoned for stealing from her, she later gave him another chance and hired him back, a decision that would later become the center of one of England's most famous murder cases. On the night of November 15, 1884, the quiet house was suddenly thrown into chaos. Smoke began pouring from the building. When the fire was finally brought under control, Emma Keyes was discovered dead inside. She had not died from the fire. She had been violently murdered before the flames were set, leading investigators to believe the blaze had been started to destroy evidence. Attention quickly turned toward John Babbacombe Lee. He had been in the house that night. His previous conviction immediately made detectives suspicious, and they believed parts of his account of the evening did not match the physical evidence. But the investigation had serious weaknesses. No one had witnessed the murder. No confession was ever obtained. The murder weapon could not be conclusively connected to Lee. Much of the prosecution's case relied on circumstantial evidence, asking the jury to piece together a chain of events rather than relying on direct proof. There was also no clear motive. Prosecutors suggested revenge after a dispute with Emma Keyes, but they could never prove that was why the murder had happened. Lee never changed his story. From the moment he was arrested until the day he left prison, he insisted he had not killed Emma Keyes. Despite that, the jury found him guilty after a relatively short deliberation. The judge sentenced him to death by hanging. On the morning of February 23, 1885, Lee was led to the scaffold inside Exeter Prison. The executioner pulled the lever. Nothing happened. The gallows were inspected. They worked perfectly. Lee was brought back. The lever was pulled again. The trapdoor refused to open. Officials checked everything a second time. Again, the mechanism worked during testing. For a third time, Lee stood over the trap. The lever came down. For the third time, the trapdoor remained shut. The execution was abandoned. News spread rapidly across Britain. Many believed it was an act of divine intervention. Others believed it was simply an extraordinary mechanical failure. Whatever the explanation, the authorities chose not to attempt another execution. Instead, Lee's death sentence was commuted to life imprisonment. He spent 23 years behind bars before being released in 1907, as growing doubts surrounded the evidence that had convicted him. Most historians believe he later emigrated to the United States, where he lived quietly for the rest of his life. Whether John Babbacombe Lee murdered Emma Keyes has never been conclusively proven. Her murder officially remains unsolved, but history remembers Lee for one extraordinary moment. 3 times the law tried to execute him. 3 times the gallows refused.